Welcome to this week's edition of the Gardener's Corner. My name is Jennifer Brown, and I am the Family Consumer Science Extension Agent in both Person and Granville counties. Thank you for joining us today. We hope that you had a wonderful, holiday season from Thanksgiving to Christmas to Hanukkah to almost New Year's now. Whatever you have celebrated, your gatherings, your get-togethers, we hope that you have enjoyed yourself. A lot of times you've probably partaken in a lot of food, and you might be thinking about your New Year's resolutions. This is the time of year a lot of people kind of buckle down and they're like, I'm going to get a little bit healthier, or maybe your resolutions are focused on finances, getting out of debt, or whatever they may be. We are here at the Extension Office to provide you information to help you do that. And with our Family Consumer Science program, we focus a lot on food and nutrition to help you reach those health-related goals, as well as financial management. We have information on that, on parenting, on housing, on so many different topics that are important to our families and to our overall health, whether it's physical health, whether it's mental health, emotional health, whatever else it might be. You can always contact your local extension office to find out more information. So we're going to get started with today's program, talking about physical activity. This is always a key thing this time of year where people are okay, I'm gonna buckle down, I'm gonna join a gym, I'm gonna go back to it, I'm gonna get in that regular routine of physical activity. And so we definitely want you to get physical. We want you to understand that and to provide more information to you about what that entails is very, very key to that. So let's talk about getting physical. That might mean different things to different people. But when I'm talking about physical activity, I am talking about a couple of different things. I'm not just talking about getting your daily exercise, your 30 minutes each day. I'm talking about just moving more, whatever that might be, because we as Americans have we've developed a lot of chronic illnesses and a lot of diseases. And unfortunately, we have one called the sitting disease. We just sit way too much. And if you are sitting way too much, then that is making you more susceptible to other chronic illnesses, such as diabetes, such as heart disease. So ask yourself how many hours per day you are sitting. Okay, you can, calculate it out. You can just write it down, okay, I drive to work this day, I sit at my desk this long, I drive back home this, time, I'm in meetings, or then I go home and I just sit on the couch and watch TV and whatever else it is. But the average working American is sedentary or sits down for nearly 13 hours per day. That is a long time, okay? So thinking about it, there's 24 hours in a day, but depending on how many you sleep, if you sleep, say, 8 of them, then that is only leaving you 16 hours. And that means we are sitting 13 of those 16 hours on average is what we're doing. So that's nearly 88% of your day. You are just sitting. So it's no wonder that we are developing other, illnesses or chronic diseases, because, if you put that along with poor nutrition, you're going to be a little bit unhealthy, or, so we want to get you moving a little bit more. We want you to get a little bit more active, because sitting down is just as harmful as some of the other bad habits we have. In fact, Dr. James Levine from the Mayo Clinic said, sitting is the new smoking. You've heard for many, many years that, if you are a smoker, one of the best things you can do for your health is to quit smoking, because Smoking makes you more susceptible to heart disease, to, certain types of cancer, of course, lung cancer, but other things as well. It kind of opens that door. And sitting is the same thing now. It is making you unhealthy. So even if if you are not a smoker, but you sit down 13 out of 16 hours, then you are having the same kind of effect on your body, detriment to your body. So get up and move, because sitting hurts our health. Our bodies were designed to move, not sit. That's why we're flexible. That's why we can move, we can bend and all that. Sitting down for long periods of time has been linked to cancer, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, back pain, as well as premature death. In fact, you are 2 times at a greater risk of diabetes if you're just sitting all the time. You have a 90% chance of getting cardiovascular disease, as well as you have almost a 50% greater risk of premature death or mortality. So get up and move, no matter what you're doing, because sitting 6 or more hours a day makes you 40% likelier to die. So as we've told you many, many times, adults are supposed to move about 30 minutes per day, like physical activity, moderate level physical activity. So it could be walking, it could be, doing some other kind of exercise. It doesn't have to be, this big cardio thing. There's so many different types of exercise, whether it's strength building, flexibility, balance, as well as endurance exercise, which is the aerobic exercise. So we want you to be less sedentary, to get more physical activity throughout the day. So low intensive activities, again, just walking, even just standing. If you're watching this at your home, then just getting up off the couch and walking in place while you're watching your favorite TV show would help you so much. If you want to get to that moderate level of physical activity, which is what is recommended, again, you just pump it up a little bit. It could be running. It doesn't necessarily have to be that intense. You can do it walking if you're, getting a good speed of walking. If you are carrying some resistance, maybe you have some hand weights, or you're just pumping your arms or whatever, you can get that moderate level of physical activity doing walking. But it's not going to be, oh, I'm going grocery shopping. That's not kind of the walking we're talking about, because that's not usually moderate level. Neither is doing all of your Christmas shopping. Yes, that is helping you be less sedentary. That is helping you sit for less hours. And that is definitely something we want you to do, but it's not counting as part of that 30 minutes of physical activity. I've had people tell me, well, I walk to get my mailbox. If you're, get my mail, if your mail is like 3 miles away, maybe you're getting, you can count that as your 30 minutes of exercise. But just getting up and walking around your house, that's just you getting in extra steps, which is definitely something we want you to do. But we also want you to get that 30 minutes of actual moderate level physical activity. Again, there are different types of exercises that you can do. The endurance, again, is typically what most people think of with that vascular, you're getting your heart pumping, and you're being a little bit more vigorous, or at least moderate level. But strength training, as we get a little bit older, we lose muscle mass, and we still have to do the things that we want to be able to do. Going to the grocery store and being able to carry all your groceries in your house, you need to build up some muscles for that. And we lose a lot of muscle mass, and especially in our arms and our legs. So doing some basic squats, some high knees, doing some weights, building up the biceps, building up the triceps, as well, just any kind of exercise. And you could do these strength training, sitting down. You can do a lot of these exercises sitting down. So if you are having mobility issues, or hip or knee or back or whatever pain, it doesn't mean, oh, I can't exercise because I'm in pain today. It just means you need to switch the exercise that you're doing. As we get a little bit older, we also have problems with balance. So doing some balance exercises so that you have a decreased risk of falling, that's perfectly fine. And flexibility. We need to be able to bend down and pick up our keys if we drop something. We need to be able to reach up high to get something out of our cabinet. So just doing some of these basic, simple exercises every day can help us increase and keep our mobility and keep our flexibility going. So we're going to kind of just, talk a little bit more about some of the guidelines. As I mentioned, it is recommended for adults to get 30 minutes of physical activity 5 days a week. So 30 times 5 is our 150 minutes. This is that moderate level physical activity, and that's per week. Okay, so there's 7 days in a week. We want you to exercise 30 minutes, 5 of them. But remember, as I often tell our classes, if you don't have 30 minutes, break it up. There's nothing that says that you can't do 5 minutes 6 times a day. Or I've got 10 minutes right now before I go to work, or I've got 10 minutes left of my lunch break, or whatever you have. Break it up throughout the day so that by the end of the day, you can get that 30 minutes of physical activity. Now, if you want to pump up the intensity, instead of being moderate level, you want to do it a little bit more vigorous. You actually want to go for a run, or do some high intensity interval trainings, then you get to exercise less time. We're going to cut that time in half because you're doubling the intensity by going from moderate to vigorous. So we're going to decrease that time by half. So you only need 75 minutes for the entire week if you're doing vigorous, intensive physical activity. Okay, so you can, and you can alternate. Today, I'm going to just do moderate. Tomorrow, I'm going to be a little bit more vigorous, but I'm going to do it for less time. That's perfectly fine. We also want you to incorporate some muscle strengthening activities because, again, as we're aging, we're losing muscle mass. And it's okay to be getting your walking and whatever else, but that's not really building some of the muscles that we need to build to be able to still keep some of that muscle mass that we need as we get older, just to be able to continue to do the things. So add in 2 to 3 days per week of muscle strengthening activities. It doesn't have to be, I'm not talking about big, huge, 25-pound weights or even bigger than that. Just even the 2, 3, 4, 5, or even 1 pound weights. You don't have to go buy, all this equipment or anything like that. If you have a bottle of water, a 16-ounce bottle of water, if it's full, that weighs about 1 pound. If you have a canned good, again, a 16-ounce can, that weighs about 1 pound. So just, doing some biceps right there with your canned goods, doing some, arm raises, holding up some weights. There are so many different activities that you can do. And we have some videos and some information we can share with you, but thankfully, there's so much nowadays online, on YouTube, that you can find chair exercise, seated exercises for older adults. You can find muscle strengthening activities with some light weights. You can find high intensity interval trainings. You can find yoga if for pregnant women if you are expecting. There's so many different types of activities for different people with different abilities, with different mobility issues, with different, just different types of styles. Some people like a little bit more upbeat stuff. Some people like a little bit more relaxing and calming and whatever else. You can find what you enjoy to do, and that's perfectly fine there. And again, even if you do have one of those jobs, like sometimes I do, where I'm just sitting down all day. Maybe I'm at a training, maybe I just have a lot of paperwork or reports to do because it is that time of year, and I can just do some basic things. You could purchase a standing desk, or like this lady has here, one of the little pedal bikes underneath the desk, but there's nothing that just says you can't, I'm gonna, do some toe touches or some toe stretches with your feet, putting them out and then flexing them back up. Just doing some shoulder stretches, again, maybe while you're listening or on the phone or something like this, some arm circles. You can get up and do some squats at your desk, some side to side stretches there, swiveling around in your chair, up and down calf raises, working on your hamstring stretches, lifting your arms, kind of lifting your legs back and forth like you're almost like you're kicking your butt a little bit. Just so it doesn't have to be any high intensive things, just getting up and doing that. In fact, we recommend every 30 minutes you get up and move for 2 minutes. It could be that you're purposeful, like I'm going to print all the stuff that I need to print and I'm going to leave it there. And then I'm going to, go get my 2 minutes walking around to the printer. Or walk it back and forth. Go get one thing you print, go back to your office, go back to the copy and get another one, and then go back. So you're just walking back and forth to the copy machine, getting some paperwork. If you are talking to a colleague and you need to have a conversation with them about a work project, just kind of walking in place while you're talking to them, say, hey, I'm gonna just walk and get some extra little steps and a little movements while we're having this conversation, because I've been sitting all day and sometimes I'm tired of it and I want to get up and move, and that's perfectly okay. We want you to break up that day. We want you to, get up on your feet however you can, taking the stairs, standing when you can. I've been plenty of places and people are like, oh, here, you can sit down, or no, I'm like, I'm good. I've been sitting all day. I just want to stand. I just want to, it doesn't have to be like I'm walking like this in front of people. I can just do some light, side to side kind of movements, bending my knees, doing little high knees, or just whatever else, walking in places. I don't have to I'm going to do some lunges in front of you, but I can do that as well. If you're embarrassed and you want to close your office door to get some squats in, or to do some lunges or whatever else. Sometimes your employer might have some wellness initiatives or money for wellness programs. Maybe your health insurance company provides money to your organization or to your employer to, do things for wellness, and, asking, can you buy me a standing desk or something like that? But there's nothing wrong with making one yourself. Sometimes I'm like, I've been sitting way too much lately, and I will just get some boxes that I have around the office and just put them on top of my desk and lift my laptop on top of that. So I have created myself a standing desk. And so I'll go old school and I'll just kind of make my own, basically, if that's what I need to do. So we're going to take a brief break and get on a word from one of our sponsors, and then we will come back and talk a little bit more about getting some physical activity, as well as we want to let you know about all of the wonderful programs that we have coming up and scheduled over the next month. So we'll be right back.
E.B. Harris Auctioneering NCAL 1468 announces the 33rd annual Starting the New Year Cattle Auction to be held Saturday, December 31st at 10 a.m. at the Granville County Livestock Arena, 4200 Kennedy Mill Road in Oxford. For terms, more information, and to view pictures of cattle up for auction, log on to ebharris.com. You can also call EB at 252-257-2140. This auction will be available online at ebharris.com or in-person bidding at 4200 Kennedy Mill Road in Oxford. Cow-calf pairs, bred cows and heifers, and herd sires. Up for auction, 46 commercial Centipole Cross South Pole cows. They will also have black Sim Angus and a red Angus bull. Log on to ebharris.com for more information, or call EB at 252-257-2140. That sale is Saturday, December 31st at 10 a.m. at the Granville County Livestock Arena in Oxford.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Gardener's Corner. I'm Jennifer Brown with the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service in both Person and Granville counties. And before the break, we talked a little bit about physical activity because it is that time of year to make your New Year's resolutions. And one of them is always, I want to be more physically active. I want to go back to the gym. I want to lose weight, whatever it is. And so we were giving you some information about the detriment to our health that sitting, just being sedentary, can cause. So we want to encourage you to get up and move more, breaking it up throughout the day there. If you have an hour-long lunchtime, we definitely encourage you to bring your lunch to work. And typically it doesn't take you an hour to, eat a sandwich or eat some leftovers or any of that. So if you have, say, 30 minutes, you want to unwind, you want to enjoy your lunch, and then take the other 30 minutes and go on a walk. Maybe you have a local park near you like I do, or if you just have a big meeting room space in your office that maybe nobody's using, whether you just, walk laps around, or if you have, we have like a DVD player with a TV. I can even just bring a DVD, an exercise DVD, and do that. I will pull up my phone, maybe an exercise video on YouTube, or even if I'm just hey, I missed my favorite episode, or I'm binge watching something on some streaming service that I want to pull up on my phone, and I'll, pull it up and I'll just walk in place and do some side steps while I'm watching my favorite show. So I get to do something that is relaxing to me, that I enjoy, catch up on some movie time or whatever you want to do. If you have a book that you enjoy reading, just getting up and walking in place while you're reading. It doesn't have to be this high intensity level of activity. We just want you to break up your day and get some more steps in. Sit less and move more is all we're trying to get you to do. And don't forget, technology has made our lives so much easier, but unfortunately, in certain instances, it has also made us a little bit lazier because we don't have to we don't have to cook things by scratch anymore. There's fast food restaurants on every corner nowadays that we don't even have to cook. We could just drive through. So again, we're sitting down, getting in our car, driving through, probably getting something to eat that's not quite entirely healthy for us. And then we go home and we sit on the couch and we probably eat another snack, and we're just sitting all night long. So using that technology for good instead. It could be that you need to, pick a task that you're going to do instead of just having a New Year's resolution that's very broad and generic, like I want to lose weight, or I want to go back to the gym, or I want to, whatever else. Be as specific as you can. When we have people come to our classes and they want to, develop an action plan, or they have a long-term, 3-month, 6-month, year-long goal that they want to achieve, we want to break it down into smaller goals. In fact, we just say, don't focus on something, that big. You can have that overall goal, but now we want you to make many little goals, whether it's every week or, a month, or whatever your, personality, whatever works best for you. So pick a task. A lot of us love making lists. Like we want to write a list down of what we need to do, so that way we can check it off and we feel accomplished, kind of like we got a little pat on our back. So if you need to have a list of what you're going to do, write it on your calendar. I'm going to go exercise Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the gym, not just I'm going to go join a gym. Okay. Set aside time in your schedule to do that. Put it on your calendar like it would be a doctor's appointment or any other meeting that, you have for work. Write it down. And if you have it written down, you're more likely to do that because you wouldn't just skip a work meeting. So don't skip a meeting with yourself at the gym. It could be that you need to set a timer. I know that a lot of people have the little fancy, watches that tell them all this stuff. Mine is a little bit more simple, but it will buzz me every 30 minutes If I'm not doing anything, if I haven't moved for 30 minutes, it'll buzz me and say, take activity, get up, stop being lazy. Basically, you can set a timer on your phone. You can get a kitchen timer if you want there, and and do that. Any type of timer will do that. And when you are focused, when you are doing that physical activity, just be in the moment. We talk about, mindfulness, being in the moment when you're eating, being in the moment when you're being physical activity. Focus on that. Don't be worrying about all the stuff you got to do or all the stress or just whatever. Turn some music on. Don't have any distractions. Focus on being physical activity. And again, you can set a timer for you to start exercise, and you can set a timer for you to stop exercising. Don't look at the timer though. I have some people that I know, they'll get on that treadmill and they will actually cover the screen, where it has, oh, you've been walking for 10 minutes or you've got 10 minutes left or something like that. They'll get a little washcloth or whatever, and they will actually cover the screen, because it's a mental thing as well, as much as a, physical mountain, that you have to climb. It's a mental one as well, that you are, honestly, if you cover that, I'm just walking. And then you're like, wow, when it buzzes, man, that 20 minutes went by really fast. But if you can see that clock, you're more like, oh my God, I got 10 minutes left. I can't do this. And just focus on what you're doing. And then pat yourself on the back when you did it. Record your progress. Check off the days on your calendar. Yes, I did exercise. Put that calendar on your fridge so you see it every day. Every day you try to go in there to get a snack out of the fridge and you say, man, I didn't check off my exercise for today. I need to do that before I get a snack. And oftentimes after you've done your physical activity, you don't want that snack anymore, because you just burned all these calories. You don't want to then just go and consume all of these calories. When you need to take a break throughout the day, whether it's mentally, maybe you've got some work that's stressing you or just whatever, just take 5 minutes, get up. Even if you don't want to walk around, or if it's nasty outside or it's really cold, just get up, do some basic stretches, toe touches, get some water and hydrate yourself. If you're going to get a snack, we recommend a healthy snack, maybe keeping some fruit or veggies or some non-perishable, healthier items, whole grain items, whatever, nearby, so that you are at least getting a good healthy snack. And then you can get back to work, get back to your physical activity, whatever you're doing. There are some apps that can help you, such as your, a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, but even just a basic pedometer or your smartphone, the little health app. It'll tell you how often you're being physically active. There's a lot of exercise apps as well. I mean, you, of course, can have YouTube, where you can watch a variety of exercise videos, but there's a lot of apps. There's apps just focused for women. You can have some just focused on a particular type of exercise. You can have videos or activities for older adults. Whatever works for you is what we want you to focus on. Download these apps. Again, we don't have any specific that we recommend. I use the 7-minute workouts, just something simple is an example. It's nothing that I'm promoting or whatever else. It was just one I ran across, because oftentimes, as I mentioned, I don't have 30 minutes right then. It could be I'm waiting for my kids to finish up something, so then we can run to the next place that I have to take them. So I might only have a couple of minutes. So with apps, I recommend free. I'm all about free. I don't think you should have to pay to be physically active. Some of them have online groups. Some of them, you have different maybe membership levels. Like, it's free if you just want the basic, but then if you want the more intensive stuff, where they might give you access to meal plans or, to nutrition or physical trainer consultations or something like that, then you might have to pay for a higher level of the app. If you are focusing on trying to do better eating wise, because oftentimes it's a balance is what we talk about, is you can be physically active, but then if you're just putting junk, high calorie, high greasy, high salt, high sugar foods in your body, you're not going to be as successful. So we recommend doing both at the same time. So they are apps or websites, but MyFitnessPal or Lose It. These are the two apps that we do recommend to our classes that are trying to track their food, because we definitely recommend keeping track of your food, because oftentimes, as we talked about earlier, you don't realize how often you're sitting until you actually have to sit down and keep track of the amount of time or amount of hours you're sedentary each day. And our food is the same way. You aren't entirely, you can't remember all the things that you ate yesterday, and drank. I mean, any of that, anything that has calories, basically, you need to write it down. And just writing that down, even just starting that out, doing that for a week, a month, whatever, makes you more aware of what you are consuming. And you're less likely to eat something that might be unhealthy for you. I'm not saying you won't, but maybe you'll have a smaller amount, or maybe you just won't eat it at all. Especially after I was physically active, and then I'm like, that donut looks really good, but I just walked 20 minutes on my treadmill and burned 100 calories. I don't want to then turn around and eat that donut that's probably 250 calories. And if I do, I'm going to feel guilty about it later. So I will look at that donut and be like, I don't want to write that down on my food log, because then it's just going to mess up my whole day. And it will actually make me not eat that donut because I don't want to write it down. And we've had so many people in our classes tell us that I really wanted this at Thanksgiving, but I didn't want to have to write it down, or the holidays or whatever else. And so see if that works for you. Download those apps. Again, they are both free, MyFitnessPal or Lose It. They are also websites, myfitnesspal.com or loseit.com. You can set up a free account to use. Again, they do have like a premium level that you get just more access to the different parts of the app. I've never needed all those parts. I just want to track my food. And you can also track your exercise on that. And you can put in your personal information when you set up your account, your height, your weight, and then you can tell them what your goal is. I want to be this weight. And maybe kind of a timeline. I want to be this weight by 6 months or so. And they'll say, okay, then we're going to put you on a plan to just lose 1 pound a week. And a good healthy weight loss is about half a pound to 2 pounds a week. We don't want you to really lose a whole lot more than that each week, because that is, that's not a safe way to do it, losing such a good amount. Now, whenever you start a new exercise program, weight loss, management program, whatever, you might lose a little bit more than that each week at the very beginning, because, we are holding on to some water weight. And if you are, being physically active and you are drinking good amounts of water and you are eating healthy, you're going to be flushing different toxins and flushing some of that water weight out. But on a normal thing, about 1 to 2 pounds each week is a good weight loss goal. And it's a healthy way to do it, because we don't want you being too restrictive. We don't want you doing these crazy diets or anything like that, because as soon as you stopped doing that, as soon as you get off that diet, you're going to put that weight back on. So we want you to make small little changes in your life so that you can have a long-term lifestyle change. Find something that you can do and do it for the rest of your life. Being physically active, eating more fruits and vegetables, and be as specific as you can. Not just say, I'm going to exercise more, or I'm going to, eat healthier. Be a little bit more specific in your goals when you are writing them. And then just join our movement to be more physically active. There are always different activities going on in both Person and Granville counties to help you get more activity. As we get a little bit warmer, they'll be doing 5Ks, but I know that oftentimes the local Parks and Rec will do a couch to 5K program. So it's a long-term, say maybe a 10, 15-week program where they're building you up to get you off that couch that, come May time, you're able to participate in the 5K. That's at the end of that program. So see if any of your local Parks or Recs or any of your local initiatives are doing that kind of program, or you yourself just get up off the couch and today I'm going to exercise or walk 5 minutes. And then you'll build up, and then I'm going to do 10 and then 20 and then 30. And then a couple of months later, you're doing that 45 minutes. You're doing your 5K, doing your 3-mile walk. There are a lot of virtual things nowadays as well, virtual 5Ks. You can just Google a lot of this. And in fact, I'll tell you about a walking challenge in just a little bit that we've been doing that we're going to continue to do after the new year. Our local groups as well, whether it's the senior center, they have a lot of fitness classes, they have gym equipment that you can use. There's so many local walking trails in both counties. There's group fitness class, Tai Chi classes. And then again, just the local community events. When the Animal Protection Society is doing their pet parade, take your dog out and go for a walk with the dog. Go visit the local animal shelter here in Person County, and they have the Strut a Mutt program. You can help them by volunteering to walk some of the dogs that they have in the shelter. And they have like a little path around outside that you go to walk this, help walk one of the animals. And I don't know how many laps, but say like 4 laps around is a mile. So you're getting your physical activity, and the dogs need to get walked, and they're getting that socialization as well. It's something great that you can take your family and they can get some, experience with volunteering. And maybe, who knows, maybe you'll fall in love with the animal and end up helping the animal shelter by adopting an animal. And check out all of the online resources. A website you can look at also is getamericastanding.org. It offers some guidelines for sitting less. It has a sitting calculator as well, and can even provide more solutions to this problem. So we're going to get another brief break to get a word on from one of our sponsors, and we hope you join us after the break, and we're going to tell you about a variety of the different workshops and programs. Our January is jam-packed already, and we hope that you can join us for some of these in-person and virtual workshops to help you get a little bit more physical activity, get a little bit healthier, or just reach your New Year's resolution. So we look forward to seeing you in just a minute. Thanks to all of our sponsors, and here's one of them.
James Shorty Loftus and Jason Loftus are proud to announce that they are the owners and operators of Loftus and Son Land Services, LLC. Call James Shorty Loftus at 336-592-6381 or call Jason Loftus at 919-282-4780 for all of your grading, landscaping, forestry, mulching, field edging, cleanup, driveways, and gravel work. That's Loftus and Sons Land Services, LLC. Family-owned land services with over 40 years experience spanning 3 generations. Again, you can call James Shorty Loftus at 336-592-6381 or Jason Loftus at 919-282-4780. Be sure to check out that Facebook page, Loftus and Sons Land Services, LLC. Granville Auction Company will be having their annual winter consignment auction sale Saturday, January 7th at 5091 Gooch's Mill Road in Oxford. The auction will start at 9:30 a.m. They've got a wide variety of items such as tractors, trucks, farm equipment, trailers, buck barns, and much more. To view their full auction listing, go to granvilleauction.com. If you're unable to make it to the auction on Saturday, you can bid online through their website, granvilleauction.com. Again, that's Saturday, January 7th at 5091 Gooch's Mill Road in Oxford. The auction starts at 9:30 a.m. If you have any questions or would like to add items to the auction, call Perry at 919-747-1219. That's 919-747-1219. NCAFL number 10414.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Gardener's Corner. For this segment, we have been talking about your New Year's resolutions. We've talked about specifically a lot of times we want to be more physically active. Maybe we want eat a little bit healthier. And we have a variety of different workshops planned for January. Our January is jam-packed with food, nutrition, overall health, and workshops. So let me talk to you a little bit about and share some of the flyers about some of those programs. So hopefully you can join us for some of these in-person or virtual workshops. Starting January 1st, we're going to kickstart the month off. We've been doing this program for the last month, and we did it again last year, but we are bringing back our 30 for 30 walk away program. You can join us on this Facebook group. This is our online walking group. You can scan the QR code with the camera on your phone or type in that website address that we have on this flyer. And we want to invite you to just join us walking. Let's go on a walk together. It could be walking or it could be any type of physical activity that you like to do, but the program that we're using is Walk Away. And we want you to walk 30 for 30, walk 30 minutes for 30 days. Yes, this is every day. I mentioned earlier that adults are supposed to get 30 minutes 5 days a week. Well, we want to encourage you to do it every day. If you can't do it every day, that's fine. Join us when you can. And we want to see you doing it. We want to see videos. So we are a Facebook online group. You will see videos from, myself as well as the other administrators of this program, but you're going to see pictures from people all across the country. We have about, I think 1,500, 1,700, something like that, people on this online Facebook group. Now, not everybody likes to post pictures of themselves, so that's perfectly fine. You'll see sometimes pictures of my dog, maybe passed out after we went walking, or you'll see a picture of, where I'm walking at a park or beautiful scenery, or I saw, a bird or something like that, just showing us that you did it. Every day we want you to post a picture of you getting your physical activity, tell us what you did, and you're going to see posts from us, not just our physical activity, but every day the extension agents that are coming together from about 10 different state universities are coming together, and we are going to create daily posts every day to give you a little bit of information. Bless me, excuse me. A little bit of information about being physically active, nutrition, getting a good enough sleep, making sure that you're staying hydrated and you're drinking water, and so much information every day. We're just going to have a daily post, and we're going to feature it, pin it, whatever word you want to use it on our Facebook, so you can get a little bit of information every day. And then each week, we're going to do weekly Facebook Live things, just about like a 15-minute or so little workshop mini program about a specific topic. So you're going to get information from people in a variety of different states, other universities, different backgrounds. I love seeing the different weather from different people's states who are posting their daily thing. And then at the end of each week, we're going to take all of those people that have posted a picture And we are going to enter them into a drawing for a weekly prize. It could be a water bottle or maybe some, cooking equipment or just something, small. It could be a gift card that we're going to give away that maybe you could purchase something that you need to help make your resolutions stick. To give you more information about making resolutions stick, we have a workshop scheduled on Tuesday, January 3rd. At 3 p.m. This is going to be a virtual workshop. We are going to talk about different information and tips and ideas, how to make those health-related resolutions that we all tend to make this time of year, how to actually make them stick. So you can join us for that virtual Zoom workshop by scanning that QR code or visiting us at go.ncsu.edu/Granville events. Because again, I work for the North Carolina Cooperative Extension in both Person and Granville counties. But since I like to share information and I like to bring information to you all from other people, we are working together with other extension agents across the district to once again bring this Extension at Home workshop series. This is going to be something that we do every month, but this flyer just shows you the first 6 months that we've got scheduled from the extension agents across the district. So there's going to be a different instructor each month talking about a health-related topic. So over the next couple of months, it's going to be, again, starting off talking about physical activity. Then we're going to talk about, a little bit of housing, eating seasonally, what's in season when. We're going to talk about budgeting because that can stress out your health, whether it's mental or emotional or whatever else. And then I'm going to talk to you about sleep and the importance of it on your overall health. So sleep like your life depends on it. And then in June, as we get to the warm summer months, we're going to encourage you with a family fun challenge that you can do while the kids are out of school. These workshops are going to be on the first Thursday of every month at 11 a.m. So just checking out those workshops, registering for those. Even if you can't attend any of our virtual workshops live, register for them, and we will always send a recording after the workshop with all of the handouts so that you can watch it when you're available. And if you are in Granville County, I'm going to be in person at the Granville County Senior Center in Oxford on the Fridays in January at 10 a.m. And we are going to be doing our Dining with Diabetes series. I just finished this series at the Stovall Senior Center there in Granville County. And this is a 4-part series where we're going to talk about, just what is diabetes. We'll talk about carbs and sweeteners and fats and salts, and then all of the good stuff that our body needs as well. And we tend to try to provide recipes, maybe a little taste test each session, and give you some handouts and a lot of good information. This workshop series is free to attend. We'd love if you call the Senior Center there in Oxford to let them know that you plan to come, so I know how many packets and information and stuff I need to bring. We also have a variety of different things that our Extension Community Association is working on. These are our Extension volunteers in Person County, and we will be selling tickets throughout the entire month of January for our Pinto Bean fundraiser. We haven't done this since before COVID, so we are trying to get back out there. Our members have gotten a little bit older, so but we plan to have a good event for you with some homemade desserts and so a delicious pinto bean meal, as well as cornbread and tea and all the fixing and the trimming. So it's only $5 to attend that. And we would be happy to sell you a pinto bean ticket at the Extension office, which is located at the county office building in Person County. Just drop on by after the new year to get your ticket. Throughout January, we're going to be at the other senior centers in Granville County as well. We're going to be at the one in Stovall on Tuesday, January 4th at 10 a.m. talking about mindfulness. So we want to talk about, we always talk about eating healthy. We want to talk about being mindful of why we're eating or doing the things that we're doing, what is distracting us, what is affecting our mental health, and all of those things as well. And then we're going to be at the Senior Center in Creedmoor in January as well, talking about cutting the clutter, decluttering our homes, getting rid of all of that clutter, throwing away all of the bad stuff, recycling it, donating it, or just selling it. And if you are interested in any of these programs, we encourage you to join our overall initiative, Get Fit and Lose It. All of these programs are kind of a part of that series. You can register at go.ncsu.edu/getfit or scan that QR code. And by participating and joining us on these workshops, as well as we're going to send emails out with monthly challenges, the walking programs. We encourage you to track your health numbers. Let us know what your A1C was at the beginning of the program, and then 6 months later you can let us know how it's doing, if you've picked up any of these tips or tricks that we've given you, and if you've able to lose weight, keep the weight off. Maybe you haven't lost weight, but maybe you've improved your blood pressure or your cholesterol or whatever else. So it's not always about the weight. It's also about our overall health and the other things that are affecting us. So sign up for this, and there are incentives and prizes throughout the program. You're going to get plenty of recipes, helpful information to enjoy as well. Okay, we look forward to seeing that, and hopefully you can join us. Take care, and thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you for joining us for the Gardener's Corner program this week.